Hello everyone and welcome to another video where I think we have found the best Silver Surfer list. So let's check it out. So there is the full list, although there are some usual suspects like Silver Surfer, of course, as you may imagine, as well as Brood and Serra. We do see some newer additions, or at least returning additions, with the form of Wong, Absorbing Man, the new version of Spider-Man, Daken, Gambit, Colleen Wing. There's a lot of options in this list that allows you to create sort of late game scenarios that allow you to win certain matchups over others, or just confuse your opponent as to actually how you're going to utilize some of these powerful tools. The early game is not overly complicated. You only have one drop, so Nova to be dropped on turn 1 if you can, into Zabu as your only real turn 2 play. We'll talk about Colleen Wing later. But then on turn 3, if you can drop Daken or Brood, that's probably your best plan to then set up for your follow-up turns as well. Now turn 4 is where you start to lay the groundwork for the rest of the game. If you have Wong, it's generally great to just plop Wong on an empty location or empty-ish. If you have Absorbing Man, that can be fine, especially if you're following up from a Daken on turn 3. And if you did play Daken on turn 3, another good option is Muramasa Shard plus Killmonger, just to get those cards played and done to potentially leave you more room to play different cards on turn 6. With this deck, turn 5 is fairly simple. You mainly have one of two options. You either play Serra, which is what you want to be doing every single time, or you have to just play either 3-drop alone or one of the 3-drops plus Colleen Wing, which is especially strong, of course, if you've played Daken and not had a chance to play Colleen yet. That fits the turn pretty easily and also sets up for a turn 6, where because if you don't have Serra, you will be wanting to play 2 3-drops on that turn instead. Now on turn 6 is where the deck really pops off. Your main goal, of course, is to play Silver Surfer at some point during this turn, preferably on Wong if possible, but even just playing it normally, you can fill out the rest of your turn with all different types of beneficial abilities. You can drop Killmonger alongside Silver Surfer to maybe kill the Nova off you played earlier to buff all of your board even more. You can play Gambit with Silver Surfer, maybe on top of Wong again, to be able to kill off 2 of your opponent's cards and still buff the board. You can play Gambit and Absorbing Man if you have Serra down. You could just dump Silver Surfer, Spider-Man and Killmonger to be able to just put out max power and mess with your opponent's positioning. Honestly, it's just limitless, the amount of options you have, and because you have these options and because you have the flexibility of whether you go for destroying or duplicating strong abilities with Absorbing Man, if you have Wong down, if you have Serra down, you can really adapt to what your opponent's done up until turn 6 and then maybe try and overpower them in a variety of ways. So anyway, yeah, that is the deck. It's been super fun from what I've played of it so far. Make sure you give it a go and let me know how you got on in the comments. And also let me know if you have any improvements to the deck. I ran into this on ladder and I thought I'd give it a go and it did well for me, but you can always make changes and try out some different cards. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.